Hello everybody, I'm Mark Andrew. I'm from Noble Rot in London. So we are a magazine, but we also have 3 restaurants in central London. Absolute pleasure to be here and wonderful to taste alongside you all. Many thanks for inviting me to the Guibert family. We've been selling the wines of Daumas Gassac at the restaurant ever since we opened, which is about 10 years ago now. And our kind of part of our character of the restaurant is that we always look to stock as much mature wine as we possibly can. So Daumas Gassac has been a regular feature, and selling older vintages has been, and opening the bottles has been a real pleasure down the years. It's also been, as a result of that, a regular conversation with the staff, with the team, about the character of the wines and about the story of the domain. And you know, it is one of those places that has almost an unrivaled history, certainly in this part of the world. And as a couple of people have mentioned, it goes without saying that it's an absolute benchmark, and it's such a wonderful experience to be able to taste back and remind ourselves of just how good the wines not only are today but have been in the past. Consistency absolutely is a watchword here. It's been remarkable to see just how consistent the wines have been. I think one of the things which I really have always loved about Daumas Gassac is that I feel it's a wine that reflects the place that it comes from on multiple levels. So it's very reflective of the region insofar as, yes, it speaks the language of Bordeaux, but it does it with a very southern accent. And the wines are, in their heart and soul, are wines of the south. There's no doubt. And yet they still can deliver the elegance and the refinement and the finesse that we might expect from wines that come further north. I also think that this tasting has demonstrated that the wine is very reflective of the specific place that it comes from. You know, many people have talked about the freshness and the vitality and the energy in the wine, which I think is a real hallmark of it. And based on what I've seen from visiting the estate, it's sort of reflective of the actual terroir, the soil, and the climatic influences that we find here. But I think also the wines are a reflection of the family, of the place and the people that are behind them. And one of the ways that I saw that in the development of the wines over time is just how more supple and smooth the tannins have become as the style of the wine has evolved over the years. And of course, that is, you know, perhaps reflective of the vines getting older and other sort of elements that are in the picture. But I think it's also a reflection of how the modern generation of Guiberts have sought to sort of bring a bit more finesse and suppleness to the wine in that way, which is really lovely to see. My preferred vintages weren't necessarily the warmest years. So there were a few like 9-3, which were not my favourite wines. 97 and 95, I'm not so sure how warm those years were, but they were other vintages which I wasn't particularly keen on. The wines that I really enjoyed the most, they are substantial, but they really deliver in terms of elegance and balance. And I found actually that the vintages that tended to have a slightly higher percentage of Cabernet in the blend were wines that I really, really liked. An exception to that was 2001, which I thought was stunning and in a wonderful place at the moment. But there were other vintages around that. I thought the 21 was absolutely delicious and one that I'll certainly be keeping an eye on. And aside from that, the 91 was fabulous, and the 80s showed that there was a really... I agree that 78 is maybe slightly past its prime now, but I thought what was really exciting was when you get to, 81 was lovely, but when you get to 82, from there, it's as if the domain really has hit its stride. And that decade is a really fantastic decade for Daumas Gassac, and we have a few of them on the list at the restaurant, so I look forward to opening them again as soon as possible. Thanks very much, guys. Cheers.
Thank you.